Hello world. I said last video that I might record this video while I was out for my walk, and I did think about it. I did consider it. I even had my phone ready to go, but I like to have that time to think. And my thought was, if I'm thinking about something and it comes up and yeah, this is what I want to talk about, I'll bring it out. But today I end up thinking about some things more, more personal things I'm working on that weren't exactly the sort of thing I would want to share. Not that I don't want to share, it's a different topic. And as I was thinking about those things, I actually came up with something I wanted to talk about. It was just already the time to get home at that point. So I'm gonna keep on going through. All right, that's what I said in the last two. I just need to accept that not everything comes out perfectly every time, and keep on trying. And so, but why? And that's what I want to talk about today: is purpose. Purpose is, what is my purpose for making these videos? What is my purpose in life? What is my purpose in work, as a father, as a husband? There are challenges that we'll face in this life. Everything we do is going to, everything we want to do, we'll face some sort of challenge, right? There will be someone that, there'll be people who are opposed, who don't agree, or there will be accidents or financial struggles, or all sorts of things might come up that make things difficult. But when we have a purpose, when we find a reason, we'll be able to get through those things. And so, thinking about, okay, this is now the third time I've sat down to record something and upload it to my channel. Why am I doing this? Because if I don't have a reason why, if I don't have a purpose, it will be much too easy to just stop. And honestly, if there isn't a purpose, I should stop. I should find something else to do with my time that has greater value than sitting here staring at a phone and talking into the void. Well, I think I already touched on this a bit in the first one, but the purpose of these videos isn't even so much for the random people that might watch it. Hello, random person. I mean that in the best possible way. I mean that as to say someone that I don't know, someone I wasn't expecting to watch it. And that can be a wonderful thing for someone to find these things and get some value out of it. But the purpose of these is right now twofold. One, practice. There are things I want to learn in my life. There are things I want to do better in life, like public speaking. There are opportunities that I actually had an opportunity earlier this year to give a talk at a conference, and boy was I nervous. I think I went through it all right, but I was nervous. I have spoken in front of people before at church, but it wasn't quite the same. And it's not the same here either, because I obviously can't see anybody, but I know there are people out there, and so I do get nervous. Like, okay, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? This is all fairly impromptu. I do a little bit thinking, like out my walk or whatever, and then I come back and just start talking. I let things flow. And I do want to learn also, practice preparing for things like this, actually writing out some ideas, creating some structure for my thoughts, and then speaking. I'm not there yet. That's something I want to learn to do. That's part of my purpose for these videos, is to learn how to speak, learn how to prepare to speak, learn how to find topics worth talking about, right? There are a lot of things to learn. And I figure the best way to start to learn these things is just try. I honestly don't even know if I have the light setting to the same every time I do this. I forget if I have it on this white one, or if it's on the yellowish one, or if it's this brightness level or one below. And it is what it is. It's not gonna be perfect. I will get that down. I will learn how to do that. I'll make notes, or actually I want to get a different light. And as long as I remember that I'm doing this for a reason, I'll come back. I'll keep doing it. And the other reason for my purpose right now, well, for these videos specifically, like the sort of things I'm talking about and why I'm putting them up on the internet, is, I mentioned before, for myself and my posterity, for my family, to be able to watch and see the sort of things like who I was. There's so many stories that I heard from my father about when he was younger and about his father, and I remember less of the stories about my grandfather than my dad did, because it was his dad. He lived some of those stories and he was told others. I was only told all those stories. And so, there's a funnel of over time and over generations, these stories get lost. And I want some of these things to be kept. And there is a fly that is just bugging me today. And I want these stories to live on. Not just stories, but, me. Not that I'm afraid of being lost or forgotten. It's not that. I see the value in knowing who your ancestors are and how they thought and who they were. And, well, myself, honestly, like here in 20 years, I can look up back and go, wow, ooh, that was Reed back then. Or go, wow, he was already kind of on the right path. I don't know. I'll have to wait 20 years and see. But as long as I remember why, then it's valuable, right? I thought about making videos in the past, but it was always about, if I'm being honest, probably always, or at least most of the time, it was more about like kind of showing off what I know. Like, oh, look at me, I know things. And there's probably still some of that here too. So maybe part of the purpose is to refine myself, practice how to, think more of others first and not myself, and being more selfless about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And, that's one of the things I was thinking about this morning. One of the things I'm working on is I have a budget application that I made for myself, and I realized that maybe part of the reason I wasn't going anywhere is I was pointing it in the direction of making money instead of doing good. Like, I did want it, it worked for me, I knew it'd help other people too, but I was maybe thinking about it kind of the wrong way. And so I'm trying to redirect the energy, my focus on that development for how to help and serve and educate people. And I get the feeling that will be better, because even if I don't make $1 million off of it or whatever, as long as I have a purpose for it and I feel like I'm fulfilling that purpose as I go, then it's worth doing, right? So whatever it is you feel like you're working on, or rather, whatever it is you're working on right now, if you feel like you don't have a reason for it, or if the reason isn't sustaining you, I'd invite you to consider pausing, thinking about it, and maybe just letting go. One of the things I do want to talk about in the future is, I might have mentioned this last time, is attachment. And it's something I'm talking about after church with somebody. They actually mentioned the word. It's like, oh yeah, that's something I dealt with. I had a bunch of stuff over here in the garage that I just needed to get rid of, and that's a whole other video for another day. But sometimes we just need to take pause. Pause, take stock. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? It's okay to let go. It's okay to realize what we're working on right now isn't the best thing for us right now. And maybe there's some hidden motive behind what we're doing that we don't even realize. And one of the reasons that, therapists and meditation and things like that are valuable is it gives us time to pause and take stock. Go out for a walk. Take a moment of silence. Turn off the TV. Turn off the music. You feel like you need the music for a reason? Well, what you're actually doing is you're masking the pain. You're masking the hard things. You're the hard thoughts. You're like, oh, well, if I'm listening to music, it makes things easier. It does. But not always in a good way. Music is wonderful. Music is wonderful. Nothing against it. It's just, be careful how you use it. Be careful if you're just using it to say, oh, well, this is hard. I don't want to think about it. My life is hard. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to, do anything right now. I just want to veg out. Well, Maybe there's a time for that, but we do want to do everything with what's the word I'm looking for? Not abundance, but the opposite almost, like with the certain limits, right? And we need to take care to read books, listen to music, watch movies, do all these things at the right time and the right amount. What's the purpose of the book, the movie, the music, the game? Is it just to escape? Is it just to forget about your pains? It's not easy to uncover our pain and get through it. Maybe you need someone beside you to help you get through it. Maybe you just need a good long walk, good long stare at a body of water. Get attached, get out into nature, and rediscover who you are. Take some time today, tomorrow, the next month, the next few months, and over time you'll find a purpose. You'll find, why am I here? What am I doing? What brought me to where I'm at today, and where do I want to be? This is something I've heard a couple times, about a month or two ago, and just yesterday again. The idea of not running away from something, but running to something. Don't run away from your fears, but find what you want to go do. Find what it is you're trying to do. Aim to that. And if you find that, you'll find purpose. You'll find somewhere to go, and that will give you direction. Running away, you can go any direction to try and get away from somebody. And something, I meant, like a wolf, is I guess right? You can try to get away from something, and who knows where you'll end up. But if you're trying to get to something, you'll have a direction, and you'll get away from the thing you're afraid of, right? It's a much better way. So I invite you to do that. Find quiet time, make quiet time, make it worth it to meditate, pray, take notes, write in your journal, do those sorts of things that will help your mind get clear and find a purpose for whatever you're doing. It could be that what you're doing is good, what you're doing is right, but you just need something to sustain you. Or it could be that you just need to change everything up. And sometimes that might mean making changes that are hard, but in the end are worth it. Let's make the hard decisions today to make the future easier. Well, that's my thought and purpose for the day, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.